Hello, my friends. I wanted to share about the presence of NYPD, New York Police Department, and state police, and all that in Puerto Rico. First of all, I'm mad as hell that people say, "Oh, you're being ungrateful, you're being an ingrate." Look, man, we appreciate as much help as we can get, but we don't need what we don't need is people with machine guns in the streets. I don't know if First of all, it's a hurricane. It's not a civil war. Okay, there is no uprising. There is no massive looting. None of that. We have a humanitarian crisis. And there are videos and posts and all this stuff of NYPD and the police departments from New York with machine guns in the streets. We don't need machine guns in the streets. We're not in Iraq. It's not Iraq. It's a population of United States citizens. We're not, there is no civil war. Nothing warrants the presence of machine guns in the streets. Okay? Let me ask you a question. If you live in Florida, how many police with machine guns, pacing back and forth in neighborhoods populated with children and women did you see? How many? Zero. All you saw was utility crews, people restoring the electricity. Okay, yes, you did see a police presence in their civilian police cars. You didn't see them out there pacing around with machine guns in malls and all this stuff like there's an imminent danger of a terrorist attack and some shit like that. It just pisses me off. And who the fuck gave these people jurisdiction in Puerto Rico? I've never seen that. Who the fuck gave NYPD? And don't get me wrong, the governor of New York has done a tremendous thing and has helped tremendously Puerto Rico. But in this one, he dropped the ball. He did not have any authority sending police from New York to Puerto Rico. First of all, you don't know shit about the law in Puerto Rico. So how are you going to enforce the laws that you don't know? Second of all, who gave you jurisdiction? Who gave you jurisdiction in Puerto Rico? Who gave you authority to grab a machine gun, an automatic war weapon, battlefield weapon, and walk around in a population in a state or in a territory that's not your state? It's just... and it's insulting, why would you do that? Then you're seeing armored personnel carriers in populated areas with people with a guy manning a 50 caliber gun at the top. Why do we have first of all, we are United States citizens. There is no need for armored personnel carriers with machine guns at the top, and all this stuff like we're some type of third world country where there's massive uprisings and rebel uprisings and all that stuff. It's Puerto Rico. 90-some% of my family served in the United States military. My brother's special forces. Everybody. We have Green Berets all over the place in my family. We don't need that. We don't need this type of military, complete takeover as far as with, presence with weapons, live weapons on the street. And we don't need that. What we need is people with chainsaws clearing up more roads. We need more electrical power grid specialists. And the armed forces has that. The United States Armed Forces has departments that they specifically do that. That's what they do. Okay? We don't need this overbearing military aggressive, or defensive, however you want to do it, like something's about to happen. We need electrical experts. People whose MOS is to reestablish power grids, and the United States armed forces has it. Were they? They're still. I mean, I'm guessing, the 3-star general has some orders from the top, but whoever's ordering from the top needs to tone it down on the presence of battlefield weapons in a civilian U.S. citizen inhabited island. But I mean, it just pissed me off to no end to see, police from New York, with AR-15, M16s in their hands, automatic weapons in their hands, doing what? That's just. I mean, I'm sorry. The governor of New York. I love him for what he's done for Puerto Rico. But in this instance, in this one thing, he needs to fix that. He needs to take those guys back to New York and put them out on the streets in New York, where I'm sure they have some work to do and some neighborhoods to protect. But we really don't appreciate people from other states, coming into our country and without any jurisdiction, just walking out there with machine guns. I'm not. We don't need that. That's absolutely a spit on our face. People say, "Oh, you're too sensitive." Okay, let's have a person. Let's say you live in Orlando. Let's have somebody from New York. Okay, you got hit by a hurricane in New York. I mean, in Florida, and all of a sudden, New York or California or whoever sends a bunch of policemen with machine guns walking around your neighborhood, your children, your wife, no. There's no need. Okay, don't take them back, take them home. We don't really need that. We need help clearing paths, establishing electrical service, and giving people food, water, and all that stuff. We don't need people walking from, strangers who don't know shit about Puerto Rican law, walking around enforcing laws that they don't know shit about, with machine guns. We don't need that.